As we speak, we're going to be bringing you live pictures as well from outside Maryland, the Walter Reed Medical Centre, which is where Donald Trump is at the moment. Are you surprised that he's being discharged so soon?
Look, I'm not really surprised. He's had top-notch care, and he also got it very early. And, you know, the treatments now for COVID are very much advanced on what they were even a couple of months ago. I think the COVID of October 2020 is a very different disease from the one in March. I mean, the disease hasn't changed, but certainly the treatments, it's a much lesser threat than it was because we understand it more now. So, look, he's a 74-year-old man. He's overweight. You would have put him in a high-risk category. And I think, as he says, the fact that he's been able to pull through so well, so far anyway, is evidence of the fact that Americans and the world should not be afraid. You know, I think that fear has really crippled a lot of people psychologically and also economically, and this is good news for everybody.
The death toll, though, is still staggering. You've got in excess of 200,000 Americans who've died from COVID, though, so the numbers continue to jack up quite substantially. The use of Donald Trump's language this morning in terms of saying, you know, you can't fear it, does that suggest to you that he just wants to let it rip?
No, not at all. I mean, look, you have to understand that most of those deaths happened early on when we didn't have treatments, when there wasn't a vaccine around the corner. The fatality rate now has plummeted in America. It is no longer a death sentence, particularly if you are, you know, under 65 and you're not obese, you don't have diabetes, you don't have these comorbidities. You know, it's a very different threat from what it was a few months ago. And I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of people and a lot of Democrats, particularly for political purposes, who want to keep the country scared and locked it down until the election. You know, there's a joke that goes around that, oh, COVID will be gone. It will no longer be perceived as a threat by the Democrats on November 4. So this is exactly the opposite of what President Trump wants to do. You saw the market jumped 460 some points with the announcement that he was going to be leaving the hospital. You know, you saw the latest jobs figures. The unemployment rate has now gone below 8. It's now at 7.9%. That's really something that I think people, you know, didn't think they could hope for. And you see those images now. The Trump supporters, they're saying they're bringing the rally to President Trump outside Walter Reed. So there's a lot of support for the president that you wouldn't perceive if you were just reading the New York Times and the Washington Post, which I have to say has behaved appallingly. They are going into meltdown right now, doubting that the president is well, thinking that his doctors are telling lies, etc., etc. This is on top of the original conspiracy theory, which was that he didn't have COVID at all.